Have you noticed your grocery bill creeping up? Even though your cart looks emptier than before, you are not alone. Across the board, food prices are on the rise, but there's more to the story than just higher costs. I went shopping the other day and almost spent $245 and walked out with a handful of bags. Some of the most astonishing prices I found that were on my grocery list were, for example, a pound of sliced pepper turkey. Kroger brand, it was their private selection. It was $10.99 and that was on sale. Bartlett pears, $1.99 a pound. I mean, they are really good pears, but I purchased three of them, which was about a pound and a half, and they were on sale. But basically, that was more than they've ever been. So I researched it on the USDA.gov site, May 24th of 2023. The average price per pound was $1.59, right? So there you go. Apples, they were $1.49 a pound on sale, and they were the Honeycrisp ones. Yum. And if I referred back to the USDA website, which I did, they were $1.52 per pound. Although doing my research, I found them for less than $1.49 per pound. So that was actually a better deal. But a fun fact, if you didn't know this, Honeycrisp apples have an amazing storage life. Outstanding flavor and texture, they say, can be maintained at least 7 months in the refrigerator. Think of it. You could have a great apple to pick and then store, sell, or savor for more than half of the year. Isn't that crazy? So I also purchased some bagels, Thomas's, and they were on sale for $3.99. Originally $4.79, almost $5 for 6 bagels. I think that's crazy. So here are some more stats from the USDA. Beef and veal prices decreased from 0.3% from December of 2023 to January 2024, but remained 7.7% higher than January 2023 due to tight supplies and strong demand. Beef and veal prices are predicted to increase 2.2% in 2024. So, prices for fresh vegetables increased by 2.9% in January of 2024, but were 0.9% lower than January 2023, when prices remained elevated following their series basically peak in December of 22. So fresh vegetables they've experienced a seasonal peak in prices in the first quarter of each year, usually because it is colder. Prices for fresh vegetables, they are predicted to increase 1.9% in 2024. So let's talk about some egg price fluctuations. Egg prices jumped from 3.4% from December to January, despite a 28.6% decrease from the year before. That was mainly due to the impact of the bird avian flu. So prices for fats and oils, sugar and sweets, and non-alcoholic beverages each rose by 1% or more from December of 2023 to January 2024. 1.1% for fats and oils, 1% for sugar and sweets, and 2.2% for non-alcoholic beverages. So sugar and sweets and non-alcoholic beverages are expected to experience the highest price growth of all eating food at home categories in 2024. So the non-alcoholic beverages are predicted to increase 4.9% in 2020. This is like soda pop and things like that. So let's talk about significant changes in specific categories. So the biggest annual increase was in baby food and formula with an 8.7% hike. And many of us know someone who buys that baby formula and have heard how expensive it is. And it definitely is when you have to feed your children, right? Your babies. So why are food prices going up so high? Good question. Well, as of the last time that I did some research, it was updated in late February to basically they're saying it reflects the most recent consumer price index data, the CPI. So food prices have always been volatile, especially during the pandemic, but which is over, thanks to a combination of inflation, supply chain disruptions, and tariffs on certain foreign imports. Food prices have steadily risen since 2020 and keep going up. But the question, will groceries go down in 2024? Well, the USDA in January had this to say: when it comes to food costs, prices are expected to ease, particularly at the grocery store. Overall, food prices are expected to increase by 1.2%, according to the USDA, right? So that's significantly slower than the 5.8% rise in 2023. So it's tough to say, but some other things to consider. Dining out, like restaurant food costs are up by 5.1% compared to last year, which makes sense because food is more expensive. So with prices increasing 0.5% from December to January. So limited service meals saw a 5.8% increase, which is more like fast food, while full service meals rose by 4.3%. How about production and labor costs, right? Food production costs are expected to rise by 3.8% in 2024, slower than in 2023. So labor costs are increasing faster than inflation, but are starting to slow down, which impact the entire supply chain, right? What is the consumer impact of this? Basically, higher food prices have led to consumers making different choices. So, with noticeable increases in the cost of, like I talked about, eggs, milk, fresh vegetables, fruits, bread, and cereal. So, if you're finding this breakdown helpful and you're feeling the pinch of rising food prices too, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, right? Because like I said, I went shopping and was kind of not, blown away. And I had been, but I just really stopped to take a look at everything. So I just want to say, remember, I personally respond to every comment because your insight and experiences matter to me. So if you're enjoying this material and want more useful information on navigating these economic changes, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. So your support helps me provide you with more content like this. So let's dive right back into the insights, right? Let's dive right back in. All right. So the big question, because I'm a realtor, how does this relate to the housing market, right? So the relationship between rising food prices and home sales is not direct, but it can impact the consumer, their behavior in the broader economy in ways that may influence the real estate market, right? So here's how the rising food prices could potentially affect home sales. Well, you're going to have reduced disposable income. So as families spend more on groceries and dining out, they have less disposable income for other expenditures, obviously, including saving for a down payment on a house. So this can delay home purchases, especially among the first-time buyers or those on tighter budgets. Number two could be consumer confidence, right? Rising food prices as part of the overall inflation, it can erode consumer confidence. So when people feel uncertain about their financial future, they may be less likely to make a significant financial commitment, obviously, such as buying a home. This is their comfort zone. They don't want to step out of it. Number three, interest rates, right? So in response to inflation, central banks like the Federal Reserve in the US, they may rise interest rates to control inflation right now. Obviously, I think we're backing off on them, but higher rates make mortgages more expensive, right? Which slows down the housing market as borrowing becomes less affordable for home buyers, right? They don't have enough money to make their payment. The interest rate, the payment's too high. And number four would be an economic slowdown, right? If rising food prices continue to contribute to a broader economic slowdown, employment and wage growth may stall. So a weaker job market and lower wage growth can negatively impact the housing market as fewer people are able to afford to buy homes. There's also a shift in priorities, right? As consumers adjust their spending habits in response to the rising food prices, there could be a shift in housing preferences. For example, buyers might prioritize affordability and lower living costs over size or location, basically influencing the types of homes that sell more quickly, right? Regional variability. So the impact of rising food prices on home sales, it can vary regionally. So areas with higher rates of inflation or more significant increases in food prices might see a more pronounced effect on the housing market compared to areas where food prices are basically more stable. So while these factors can influence home sales, the actual impact will depend on a variety of other economic and basically non-economic factors, including the job growth, wage growth, housing supply, and the broader inflation trends, right? So real estate markets, they are complex and influenced by numerous interconnected factors. So the effect on rising food prices on home sales, it varies widely depending on your local conditions and the broader economic trends. So as in the situation with real estate, it is location specific. So as we wrap up our exploration of the rising food prices and their broader economic implications, aka to the housing market, it's crucial to remember that every housing market and region will experience it differently, right? So, the statistics and trends that we've discussed today, or that I've discussed with you, are specific to the United States. So, keep that in mind. And the impact on both the home and the food prices can vary greatly from one area to another, from one country to another. So, whether you're feeling the effects of the economic shift in your grocery bills, or you're contemplating their potential impact on the housing market, stay informed, and seeking guidance tailored to your local context is important, right? So if you're curious about how these national trends might influence home values in your area, or if you're considering purchasing a home and wondering about the right time to move, reaching out to a local real estate agent can provide you with some invaluable insights because they know the local market. So, real estate professionals understand the nuances of their markets, and they can offer the best personalized advice based on your specific situation and your goals, right? So, if you're interested in finding out what your home is worth, or if you're in the market to buy, don't hesitate to connect with a local agent who can handle and guide you through their process. And if you're located in Macomb County, Michigan, Shelby Township, Oakland County, or the surrounding areas, give me a call. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this information helpful and you want to stay updated on more economic insights or how they may affect you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support enables me to continue providing valuable content. And remember, I'm always here to answer your questions. So drop a comment below and reach out directly. Let's navigate these changing times together. And remember, we're family helping families, and we greatly appreciate you.